All right, here we are.
We're here.
Episode session 58 of the Barn Session. A lot to talk about. There's I mean, I don't even know where to begin with the duels, but yeah, how you guys doing? How you feeling after this whole last 3 days, basically?
I feel great.
I'm all right.
Yeah.
I thought this weekend was jam-packed full of action.
Yeah, I think this is probably the best week we're gonna have as far as the number of crazy duels that we had and all the matchups and the results. This might have been the peak. We'll see next week. Everybody's talking about Iowa Penn State.
Should we address something else before we get into the wrestling?
Sure. Happy birthday, Devin On before. Just wanted to say that. My good friend Chisholm. Shout out.
He's probably a Chiefs fan.
No, he's not.
You want to talk about the Chiefs?
He's a Cowboys fan.
Ugh.
I mean, hey man,
Ugh.
good for the Chiefs. You know, they get to ride this wave.
You get to eat your words, buddy.
I do.
What did Ryan say?
I thought the Bills had it in the bag, dude.
Really?
He underestimates the power of viewership.
Dude, I saw somebody's clip this morning. They were like straight from commercial. The first thing they look at after the game is over, it's Taylor Swift. She's on the screen, and it's like, yeah, I mean, people. That's what the new viewers want to see. So
That was so funny, though.
Dude, I listened to Portnoy do his little post game take calls from fans or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was he was just getting Buffalo Bills people on, and dude, they were just losing their mind. It was awesome. I was listening to it while I was making dinner.
That's with John Gruden, right?
I
The
don't
old
know.
Raiders coach?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that
The old
makes sense
Raiders
because he
coach.
kept calling
He
him
works-
coach.
He works for Barstool now.
dude, he is
Coach Gruden.
unhinged.
He's the man.
He's great.
I mean, as far as it go, when it came to coaching NFL, professional football players, he probably was not the man. But when it comes to being a part of Barstool, he's definitely the man. Perfect for the job.
Yeah.
Bro, this
Absolutely.
one guy went on a 5-minute long, basically he's dude, it was the most heartfelt, he's things aren't going well in my life, and sometimes I just need my team. And it was 4 minutes, and he was talking about how he was 9 years old and something similar had happened, and he's like, I'm 43 now, and it's the same shit, and it was just, bro, it was
Can't escape
crazy.
the cycle.
It was so
That's awful.
and there was just no pause or anything. It was just he just had it all ready to go. I don't know. It was get that man, a contract.
So how do you feel about the Super Bowl matchup?
I don't even care, bro. I really just wanted the Bills to win, especially after you said what you said, because I was like, oh, this now they have to beat the Bills just to prove Ryan wrong.
Oh, you wanted the Chiefs to win. Okay. Yeah.
I don't care. I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm assuming they're gonna win.
I don't know. I don't know. Saquon
Or they'll
Barkley.
be
They can't stop Saquon Barkley. They're screwed.
Yeah, and they had a hard time stopping Josh Allen. If you can't stop Josh Allen,
How are you going to stop
Saquon's
Saquon
mean.
Barkley?
have they didn't play the Eagles this year? They did, didn't they?
I don't think they did.
I don't know if they did.
Probably
They
not.
did.
Yes.
The Packers did twice. Lost
Did
to
the
them.
Packers beat them?
Was their first loss, and then their second, and then their last loss.
That'll
the
happen
Packers
to
did
you.
not beat them.
Maybe they won't win just so we keep the whole nobody's ever three-peated alive. It hasn't happened yet. It's probably, dude, just the idea that it could ever really happen after this, even it's hard to imagine.
Yeah.
Is it though?
Not really, because if they can fix it, then anything's possible.
Truly.
But dude, out of just pure skill, doing that 3 times, that seems
No, yeah.
no way.
At that level?
A
Yeah,
little bit of luck sprinkled in there.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and luck can only get you so far.
Yeah. definitely. All right, but yeah, that's football. Let's get into some wrestling. I have on here Cleveland State. Their program's getting dropped. But I mean, really, if you want to hear like the meat and potatoes and the real stuff around that, if you want to hear what's what regarding the program and the university and all of the factors that come into play, go listen to Willie Saylor talk about it on Bash in the Brain. He pretty much, I mean, didn't leave any stone unturned
All right, one
regarding.
more thing because that just reminded me. Bash.
Yes, I knew it. Yes,
Bash.
yes.
Huge Bills
What
fan.
a-
Loved to see the meltdown from Justin
What
Bash.
a crybaby, dude.
He called Travis Kelce a cuck.
Oh my god. How is he a cuck?
I don't know.
Does he not know the definition of cuck?
I was like, man, I can't believe he knows that word. That's what I was thinking. I was like, how
There's
does
no
he
way
know?
there's no way he knows what it means then. If he's calling Travis, furthest thing from it, you know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where he came up with that, but I was like, dang.
So you're telling me that Travis Kelce's sitting in the corner of a room watching other dudes rail Taylor Swift? Get out of here.
Just imagine.
Yeah, I don't know.
No.
That was weird.
The truth is stranger than fiction.
You don't have to imagine. You can just go back to those weird AI images that were all over the place like a year ago.
Yeah.
What do you think of that, Sammy?
Geez.
I don't know what you're talking about. I have a very clean
me neither, dude.
internet
clean
algorithm. Yeah. I actually that's
yeah.
so
you never see people getting murdered on Twitter,
dude. No, so
you.
I've heard a lot of people like complain about their like Twitter being unbearable to use. I only use following, and I only follow wrestling accounts.
See,
and it's pretty great.
I try to use following, but I follow so much boring stuff that I'm just like, ugh, go back to For You. Just
For You is awesome.
Right? So it'll load me into For You, and it'll be like Elon Musk tweet, Donald Trump tweet, somebody getting murdered, carnivore diet. Okay, I'm back over to who I'm following. Let me just read about some wrestling real quick and get out of here.
Yeah, I should probably do that.
Mine's some wrestling, some One Piece, Elon, Donald Trump, ass, and then other stuff.
Oh, come on, we're gonna leave that out.
Giant booty. I'm just like, oh, what the heck? And you know what? Every time I get a naked girl popping up on there, I'm like, all right, block, because I don't want that. I don't want that on my For You.
Yeah, that's a futile effort though.
Yeah, it feels very futile.
It is futile. It's almost like oh, you're gonna block this. Well, I'm gonna keep giving you more.
You interacted with this, so the algorithm's gonna give you more of it. It's basically what's happening.
Oh my goodness.
So,
okay.
Back to the wrestling.
What were you saying about him though? What was why'd you bring?
I was talking about Cleveland State dropping their program, and I talked about how Willie covered the whole situation. It's not really related to NIL. It seems like Cleveland State administratively is just a nightmare to begin with. That's why there's not really much in terms of hope for it. So sucks, but we got to find, I guess the biggest thing and the biggest takeaway that I found from it is any programs that exist right now, if you're a head coach or if you care about your program that you're a fan of, or if you're a part of it, you got to find a way to keep to financially support yourself. Right. Willie basically called it like, give your university a free sport. If you raise enough money to run your program on your own without the financial support of a university, they don't have to worry about you. So, and I mean, that just makes sense. Obviously easier said than done, but it'd be great to have that for as many college teams as possible for wrestling.
In Cleveland, in that area, it probably should be just as easy as it said, though.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of great wrestling in the Ohio area, in Cleveland in particular. So you'd think, yes, there's just a lot, but I don't know. I just don't know what things look like for everything regarding Cleveland State. So,
well, at least they weren't the only sport that got dropped. That's any consolation. It was just like softball and women's golf. I think those were the other two.
They don't even have the word is that they hired an outside firm to like adjust their financial situation for sports and like it was cut these programs. They don't even have a football team.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like, so I don't know what's going on there.
Poor
But
leadership.
also,
It's
a
just as
thing,
Willie said, it's poor leadership.
yeah. A thing to think about for other implications is Cleveland State Open was a relatively not popular, but it was a tournament of note, and so that's going to be gone. That's a hole to fill for somebody out there. So
It's probably okay. I mean, plenty of tournaments.
How do you
I
feel
guess,
about
yeah.
the coaches that are calling for the NCAA tournament to be moved away from Cleveland next year? How do you guys feel about that?
That's I mean that's such a
Irrelevant.
nightmare. That's such a
Yep.
nightmare. You have these deals, these contracts with these big venues and everything that goes into that. And you have, I mean, this type of stuff is there's a reason it happens years in advance, right? I don't know if they can really
Regardless,
turn on a dime
like
like that.
why does it matter? Why does how are the two the two should be mutually
What
exclusive,
coaches
right?
were saying that?
Like what Green was big on it,
Scott
right?
Green was
This
big on it.
Green, yeah, this guy and his opinions.
Kevin Ward also said something about it.
I don't, I mean, yeah, I don't really get the correlation, and I just don't get how it's feasible and how, I mean, if you make that process of having NCAAs more of a headache for anybody else outside of the sport, I mean, that's not good for the sport. I don't
Yeah,
think
it's dumb.
so.
There's not a what's the closest NCAA team to Kansas City?
Missouri,
It has to be, right?
Yeah,
that or Nebraska.
Maybe
got
Nebraska.
it's got to be Missouri.
I'd say
That's
Missouri.
like a 2 hour, not even
But
2 hours.
my point is like it shouldn't matter.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get into some of the actual wrestling match duel results. First one I have on there is Oklahoma State taking out the University of Northern Iowa. They beat them 22-14. This is the closest duel that Oklahoma State has had all year. And there were some, I think, notable results on both sides of this duel. Spratley took out Trevor Anderson. Julian Farber took out Cale Hughes. Cale Happel beats Tagan Jameson. Colin Real Budo takes out Carter Young. And then Caleb Fish takes out Ryder Downey. That's the first big upset. Happel taking out Jameson. I mean, that's kind of a coin flip match.
And then Moshe Schwartz beat Happel.
Yeah, and Moshe Schwartz beat Happel, and then also Frost beat Jameson. So 41's a little bit of a mess in that tier.
Jacob
then,
Frost.
Yeah.
He's coming on.
I mean, what does that? Because is Echemendia trying to be 141 this year? Is that?
Oh, that's what I thought.
Who knows?
But at least I mean, man, Jacob Frost, he's looking good. So
right, yeah, that's a really good win. Yeah, Real Budo taking out Young. I think this was the one with the contentious takedown in this duel, right? I think I want to say yes, or maybe it was Jameson Happel.
No, I mean it was the
going out of bounds. Yeah. He had the ankle secured,
and it wasn't. They didn't call it a takedown, or it was.
I think they reviewed it and they didn't call it a takedown.
Oh, I thought I saw a screenshot of it and I was like, that is clearly a takedown.
Well,
wasn't his foot in bounds?
Screenshots are tricky.
Yeah,
but,
you can't.
I mean, he's got his ankles, his feet are inbound.
His hands are on the mat.
But was his feet inbounds long enough for reaction?
Yeah, did they drag
time?
out? I guess that's true.
So, dude, let me tell you something. Let me just get this off my chest. Bringing back reaction time in those situations was a mistake, a huge mistake.
Yeah, you just gotta have cut and dry. This is a takedown. This isn't a takedown. I don't care if you reacted fast enough or not. You shouldn't have been in that position.
I think it's fine, bro. I think like high school doesn't have this issue.
It's not though because there's too much judgment, Reese. And I mean that takedown
just use common sense.
They didn't give Chittum or they didn't give Fish in that Chittum match. Like that was terrible.
I don't think that's because of the rule. I think that's just
it's because reaction time is judgment, dude. You're
giving these refs an out, and the refs are going to take the easy way out every time.
I mean, and then you go back and review it, and you still don't call it a takedown.
I think that's an outlier. I don't know, man.
No, it's just. I mean, dude.
Maybe.
especially from a fan's perspective, like a casual fan, like it's cut and dry. It was cut and dry before. Now you've introduced judgment, which
Yeah,
is
I mean,
confusing for casuals.
I didn't
It,
mind reaction time or no reaction time with the rear standing position, but people just hated it, dude. And we get rid of it, and then suddenly it's like, oh, why did we get rid of this?
It
Like,
does well. Who hated it though? Honestly,
bro,
because I didn't.
I feel
I
like
thought it was
people.
perfect. I thought it was fine. I was like, this is exactly what we needed.
That's
We
what.
needed something that was black and white.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
I didn't hate it for sure. But I definitely heard like, I mean, there's a reason they changed the rule to begin with. There was
Yeah, those
obvious
were
like,
those were those were sad boy hour people. If there's reaction time here, then maybe they wouldn't have. Maybe my guy that I wanted to win would have won instead of lost. You know what I mean?
yeah. But it was like I feel like Ben Askren didn't like no reaction time. Like probably all those guys, you know.
I think well. So this is the situation was God, it was Max Dean against who was it? Do we remember? Ryder kid, right? Or
Yeah, Ethan
Ethan
something. Ethan Ryder.
Yeah, whoever it was. So he gets rear
Ethan.
standing, and then Max Dean tumbles forward, right? Just basically just does a somersault forward while in rear standing. And they're saying, oh, well, the hand touched, like the back of his hand touched as he went down towards the mat. So that's a takedown. I guess I get it. So now we're getting into like a weird, like, well, what is
What's rear
contact
standing?
with the mat?
Well, I was
Right? What's rear
fine.
standing? What's
They kind of. I felt like last year they kind of fixed that, right? Where it's like, all right, well, if they're headed in for a roll, like you give them time to wrestle. If they're trying to roll through a takedown, you give them a little bit of time there. But if their hand clearly touches, like in the Chittum match, in the Chittum Fish match, then it was 3. There's a takedown.
I think this is just a ref not properly using the rule.
Dude,
I think
because
that's
that
what
was
it is.
so
Yeah, but
obvious. That was so obviously a takedown.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like any high school ref is going to call that a takedown
Probably,
because
you're
most
probably
of them
right.
just
You're
call
probably
them
right.
prematurely anyway.
Yeah.
At first, I was like, did I miss the takedown? And the commentary is like, no takedown yet. And then they review it and no takedown. I'm like,
Dude, and then they review it and still say no takedown. That's just absolutely
pretty
pathetic.
bad. It's pretty bad.
Could it be home cooking?
Yeah,
Maybe a little bit. Okay. Well, back half of this duel, not quite as exciting. Jack Thompson or Cam Amin majors Jack Thompson. Dean Hamity majors Jared Sima. Keck Eisen majors Plot. I think that's the widest margin of victory he's had against Plot.
Man, this weekend, Cam Amin really, really, really looked like Will Luan.
He didn't look like Will Luan, bro.
No, he did. What do you mean? He was putting points up like crazy compared to Will.
That's what I'm saying. He didn't look like him.
He didn't.
I thought you said you did. I thought you said you did.
I didn't ever say he looks like. I never said it's turned into the new Will Luan. I said he was always like Will Luan.
This is better.
This would imply that he isn't like Will Luan. But maybe that's David Taylor more than
his. It's above his average scoring percentage.
These last 2 matches got majors. Come on.
He did cut.
And also, Will Luan didn't get the 3-point takedown.
How many majors? You could probably count the number of majors he had on one hand in his entire career.
Well, give him 3 points, and maybe he likes to score more.
We thought that last year, and it was not the case. We literally thought that.
Oh, he was old as shit at that point, bro. He was stuck in his ways.
Yeah, he was pretty old. Luke Serber takes out Wyatt Volker 4-3, and Wyatt Hendrickson takes Lance Runyon. So, but yeah, I mean, this is a great duel.
Great duel, and honestly, like Happel wins at 57 and Volker wins at 97, and they win that duel. And those were both winnable matches in that duel for you and I.
What was the first one?
Downey. He said.
I meant Downey. My bad. Downey. If Downey wins, and Volker wins, they win that.
Yeah.
They win that duel.
Volker.
Yeah. Yep, that's true. Will Luan had 1, 2.
I can't believe you're actually
3, 4.
What the hell, man? What are you gonna
5,
do? What are you
6,
doing
7,
this for?
8. He had 9 majors in his collegiate career.
Okay, so you could use 2 hands. 2 hands.
2 hands,
2
bro.
hands.
Now give him the 3-point takedown.
He had 1 major with the 3-point takedown.
And also, Willuwan, what? What is that?
He had 1. He had 1 major with the 3-point takedown.
No, that's not what I'm... okay. Yeah. He was bad last year, though, dude. How did he do? I mean, he did not finish, like...
Round of
He
12,
was
right?
a national qualifier. No, he went 1 and 2.
Bro, he's not... The thing is he's not as good as Cam Amin. Or, I mean, he certainly wasn't last year. He has been, like, good at points.
Cam Amin wasn't very good last year either.
Cam Amin was also not very good.
He was banged up last year.
But that's a guy who's never lost to, like, Dean Hamidi. He's beaten Shane Griffith. I think he probably has a winning record against Shane Griffith.
Yeah, let me correct myself. He only had 7 major decisions. 2 of them were losses by major
Shut
decision.
your mouth, Sammy.
Sorry. I just want to make sure I'm getting my facts straight.
Oh.
And Tech Falls, he had 2, 3, 4. He had 4 Tech Falls. He never got teched. It's a good defensive wrestler.
Well, he clearly.
Clearly. All right, Iowa takes out Ohio State. This duel, I might argue,
was also a great duel.
Was better even. Joey Cruz takes out Brendan McCrone. This is probably the upset of the duel, right? I mean, McCrone's been pretty consistent this year, and to lose to Joey Cruz,
I would say so. But Joey's coming on, man.
Yeah.
He's looking better and better with each outing. I've been super
that was a good
impressed
sign.
with Joey.
This is a guy, I'm pretty sure Joey Cruz, he's like had multiple wins over Richie Figs in high school. He did. He was really good.
Okay. Yeah, he's 7-5 so far this year. I mean, hasn't really been blown out in any of his matches. So yeah, he's not bad. I mean, his first match out was a 7-3 loss to Maximo Renteria. Like he's not a bad wrestler, but to get a win over Brendan McCrone, that's good. Ben Davino techs Kian Hernandez. Jesse Mendez techs Ryder Block. Kyle Parco takes out Dylan D'Amelio. Ja'Cory Teamer takes out Sammy Sasso.
That one was sad.
Yeah, I mean, we
I
know that.
I honestly was expecting Sammy to win that match. I was like, I'm not sure Ja'Cory coming back. Is it too early? Is this
Really?
the moment where Sammy kind of like comes back to form? Nope.
No, not even close.
No.
I mean, I think
Wrong.
I mean Ja'Cory looked
wrong.
I'm not gonna say Ja'Cory looked great. He looked good.
I mean, he looked pretty great.
Sasso,
I thought he looked pretty good against a I mean, don't get me wrong. Sammy Sasso is still savvy. He's still hard to wrestle. Still hard to take down.
Yeah. Dude, I saw one shot, and I mean, maybe it's Teamer's proficiency at finishing, especially something like a double leg, but
dude, he blew his doors off.
He like there was no fight post shot, and like that's.
Are you talking about the double leg?
Yeah, that's. I mean, and that's Sasso's wheelhouse. It's
single,
hard to do that in a double though.
His little it went like head snap or like hyper snap or whatever to the outside.
I call it a shuck.
Well, shuck. It's not really a shuck. I mean, it is kind of.
I get what you mean. Yeah.
But he's so fast, and then he hit that hip toss for no points.
Yeah,
but it was cool.
Yeah. It was cool.
It was cool.
I was actually impressed with Carson Karchla as well.
Yeah. So I want to get onto that. Caliendo takes out Patty Gallagher, major decision. Harchla takes out Patrick Kennedy 7-3, and this is a really good sign for Harchla. Like I don't dock the way Kennedy wrestled like at all.
Mm-mm.
I think he wrestled good. He's just
Carson was better that day. Yeah.
Kennedy, I mean, he never looks. I feel like he's super consistent. So like that's a big win. Yeah,
so that's a good sign for Carson. Hopefully he can just stay healthy for the rest of the year, and then we get prime Carson in the postseason. And I mean, he's finished on the podium before. He's good.
Interesting wrinkle.
Yeah, like what is he able to do against the top 3? I don't know. So I want to see that. Gabe Arnold takes out Red Rogotsky. A sudden victory match. I think one that he just had to get over the hump on. He lost to Rogotsky twice back in 2021, and so he needed to get that win under his belt. Might have given him a little bit of extra confidence in the post-duel conference. He calls out Penn State. He said next week book it, all that stuff, and we'll see how it goes. So,
Did you see? Did you see Starachi's replies today?
oh yeah, he was like, I thought his teammate was the guy. Didn't who took first at the Soldier Salute? Didn't he not win that tournament? That's basically
good.
what he was saying.
No, it was. They were honestly. It was like very like the most professional and tactful way Carter could have like possibly done it.
Didn't talk about his horny levels or anything.
Nothing.
Shaft growing a little bit bigger or anything. No,
Nothing like that.
nope. Stephen Buchanan takes Seth Shoemate, and Ben Keeter takes out Nick Feldman. Also, great result.
Oh, that is the upset of the duel, in my opinion.
It could be.
It was a weird match.
Yeah, because Keeter loses to Luffman, and it's like, I don't know what to think, right?
Well,
I don't know what to
Luffman's
think of Luffman. I don't really. Yeah, but is he like the expectation for Keeter is like quickly rising up to this top 4 type of guy.
Yeah, they wanted him. They thought he was going to be top 4 right away this year.
Right. The debate or the conversation at the beginning of the year was you're full time into wrestling. You're not focused on any other sports and anything else, and so we're going to see this rapid progression. But then you lose to Luffman, and you've also a little bit of a slower start. Not blowing dudes out of matches or anything. So to lose to Luffman, it's like, okay, that's a little bit of a head scratcher. But then taking out Nick Feldman. I don't think Feldman's 100%, but that's still a good win. So
I didn't know that.
He got injured at the CKLV, and I don't think he's quite where he's going to be in the postseason. Is what I'm saying.
I see what you're saying.
Okay, that was Iowa taking out Ohio State 24-13. Next, Oklahoma State taking out Iowa State. This one also phenomenal.
Yes and no.
We talked about it a little bit already.
It was kind of. I mean, there were some snoozers. Low scoring snoozers.
Yeah. So
but overall, good duel.
Right. Troy Spratley majors Ethan Perryman 20-10 shootout. Perryman got the first 2 takedowns, and Spratley had to climb out of that a little bit, but it was that was a good match from start to finish. Evan Frost takes out Reese Whitcraft. I think it was off the he got a turn on top, right?
Yeah, takedown pretty much right into a turn. It was
dude.
That's what you got to do, right? At that level,
tilt.
like that's the best time. Yeah, roll through tilt, baby. It was right off the takedown when the guy was still a little bit relaxed. And
before that, in the first period, Whitcraft moves so fast.
Yeah,
his level change and lateral movement was. I'm like, this guy should be able. If he can wrestle like that for 7 minutes, he should be able to compete with so many people.
He's the guy, in my opinion, for them.
I think he's gonna be. Yeah,
I think so too. But I mean, you got Cale Hughes, he's savvy as well. I think he needs to. Once Cale is fully healed his shoulder, he's going to be a really hard guy to beat, in my opinion. But right now, he's still a little bit banged up, and Reese, I think, is just hungry to get on the podium, man.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that. Frost is tough. 133 is shaping up to be a bit of a weird, weight. Crookham being injured, nobody being consistently the top guy. Bird wrestling matches that are too close. Ayala might be the number 1 guy. Romney's undefeated, but he hasn't wrestled at all of his competitions. Who did he lose to?
Romney got beat by Tyler Knox.
When did he lose to him?
In a duel?
Must have been, right?
It was. I looked it up.
Okay. So Romney's not even undefeated, and Knox took out.
What's the word on Crookham? Is he or is he not wrestling?
So Willie just talked about it. Like they dropped him and Bash dropped their latest episode like an hour before this. I listened to the very beginning of it. The expectation, the hope from the coaches. Yeah, let me get the drop on this before I start recording. The hope and the expectation from the Lehigh coaches is that he will be back. So it's inconclusive, but they're hopeful in late January. So we'll
So
see
what
in
do
a
they
month and a
do?
half.
If he's not back, do they bring in what's his name? Do they pull his red shirt?
Stanich?
Yeah, cut him down to 33, pull his red shirt.
No,
Reese is shaking his head no. Is he too
No.
big? Is he too big for 33 now even?
I don't think he's well.
I think it would be mean.
I just
Would
don't
it
think
be
that's the right
mean?
thing to do.
Pause.
You
I don't
shouldn't
know.
pull somebody's shirt for postseason like that.
And make him go down.
Yeah. Yeah, they're holding their cards for next year. They've
What if
made that
Stan-
obvious.
All right, yeah, that's true. All right.
So
I'm just gonna
Yeah.
shut up now.
yeah, just shut up.
Okay, I'll stop
Big-
talking.
Big Luke Stanich guy. That's all I'm saying.
I like Luke Stanich, but
This guy.
I think he'll be good. I think he'll be great at 141 next year.
Yet you want him to cut weight.
I just thought maybe if Crooken was out, maybe that might be an option. An option.
I guess you can't rule it out. You can't rule it out. I just don't expect it, and I wouldn't want to do it if I was the
he
coach.
wrestles well. He could. I mean, would we say that Luke Stanich couldn't win it at 133?
I think he could win it.
Could.
For
He
sure.
could.
Yeah, because your guys at the weight right now are Knox, Romney, Ayala,
Frost.
and Nasir Bailey, kind of.
Yes and
Maybe,
no.
maybe not. Yes and no.
Depends on which
So-
Nasir shows up.
And I mean,
He
guess
has-
Braden Davis.
He has said that he's only been farting, and we haven't seen shit yet. So
Yeah, Lucas Bird, Dylan
Gross.
Shaver,
Oh,
maybe.
Bird. I'm a big Bird fan too.
Bird's he's wrestling too tight for me.
Dude, Illinois
That's how
as
he
a
always
team
wrestles.
is not looking so good right now. And it's
They're
making me
just-
sad.
Well, we'll get there. We'll get there. I have their duel with Rutgers queued up next. Back half of the duel, Cameron Amin takes out Aiden Riggins. Hamady techs Gaitan. Plot majors Bachman. Serber beats Sawyer Bartlett. There was an injury. Ryan, you were there.
Soft
Bad
dade.
or
Soft dade. Soft dade. That's all I'm gonna say.
all right. And then Wyatt Henderson gets a tech fall in the final match to wrap things
How are
up.
you gonna-
27-12.
How are you gonna injury default out of a match and then go to the middle and start talking shit?
So what did he say?
Oh wait,
Or
wait.
what-
I don't
What
know
happened?
what he said. He injured defaults. He burns his second injured time, and Dresser pulls him, and then he goes to the middle, and it's John. I don't know what he's saying. I was up, whatever. I couldn't hear them, but you could see that he was like pissed off and jawing back to. I mean, and then everyone in the crowd, all the Iowa State people are booing Serber because at one point in time he grabbed the hurt leg. Like, dude, what do you want him to do? He's wrestling.
Yeah, that's the exact idea. So
Salty Cyclones.
Bo Nickel wouldn't like that you said that.
Especially you, Zach Bogle, Mr. Stalemate's just a salty Cyclone
So
fan.
he's a Cyclone fan, obviously now.
Oh,
Now,
dude,
I came across his tweets. I was like, oh,
he-
well, I didn't know that.
He has been. He has been
Yeah.
for
Bogle
yeah.
for a
Stalemate.
long time.
Yeah, I
for
didn't
a
know.
long
I did not
time.
know that he was affiliated or whatever.
Yeah, I think he's just
Then,
a
then
mega
I
fan.
found out. Does he
Yeah.
live over there or around there?
I think he does, doesn't he?
I think he lives in Des Moines. I'm pretty sure he lives in Des Moines.
There you go.
Cuts hair in Des Moines somewhere.
All right. Next duel, Rutgers takes out Illinois in a fun one, 16-15. Starting it off, Dean Peterson takes out Kalen Riley. Lucas Bird beats Dylan Shaver 6-5. Joey Oliveri beats Danny Pacino 8-4. Kanan Webster beats Andrew Clark, almost a major, but couldn't quite get the full 8 points. Connor Hare beats Jason Kraser. Connor Hare is a true freshman. He's one to keep an eye on.
Legit.
Yeah.
And
So
he's got a younger brother who's just as good, if not better.
right, and the one of the key points when he was wrestling is he's a leg rider. He's got some stuff to work with on top. So that could be a real.
I would like
He's
to
calling a
thank you-
timeout.
Thank you for bringing that up. I saw some crazy tweets today from Scotty Sentes,
Oh, okay.
Campbell
Go
coach.
ahead. Yeah.
He wants to outlaw double boots power half.
Oh, I saw that. I saw that. Yeah.
He
Because of torn
says
labrums.
because it tears too many labrums.
Yeah. Get turned. Don't
He's
fight
like,
so
oh,
hard.
Get
and then
turned.
the guys can't even roll over. Yes, actually they can.
You can. You can.
You actually
Dude,
can.
you know what hurts me to watch though? When they have the half and then they take the hand and they grab the wrist.
Mark Perry.
Bro,
Mark
like
Perry.
they like have their own wrist.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not their own wrist, but their opponent's
Right.
wrist.
Like I'm
Yes.
stuck like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, it happened to one of the high school kids at Platte County, and I can't remember who it was, but it was so bad. I think it might have been Will, but I don't know.
I mean, if you want to,
It was Will.
if a guy is
It was.
if a guy is kicking and can't get it and can't get his arm free and can't roll over, fine, PD it and give him the two imminent. But like, we're not gonna outlaw wrestling moves. That's just dumb. What are we doing?
Outlaw.
What are we doing?
Dude, yeah. That's I disagree with that, Scotty. But I mean
I'm on the fence.
I watched when I was at Cornell, Freddie Stroker got his bicep torn from double boots power half from who's the kid from Lehigh, 157 pounder.
That's our
I'm talking
guy.
about him, Humphreys.
That's our guy.
He got the takedown, put in the double boots, put in that power half, and pretty much immediately, just everything just ripped.
I don't like the double boots.
The NCAA owes Josh Humphrey another year of eligibility. Just saying.
I'm cool with that.
I'm cool with that.
But I don't.
All right.
I want to say this. I don't like the double boots. So I don't really. They take away a turn, puts the double boots. Doesn't bother me.
I just don't think it's the answer to make things on top more exciting.
Top is never exciting. That's the problem.
Okay.
But it could be.
Okay, Bosch.
Certainly not exciting. Yeah, that was a very Bash take of me. But it's certainly not exciting when they have double boots in.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
It is if you know what you're doing.
Yeah,
and it sucks, bro. It's just like it's basically like I don't know.
You're kind of watching somebody get tortured.
I'd be okay with referees stalemating it a lot faster than they do. You know what I mean? I would totally be okay with that. Referees down there, maybe not do a hard loud count or whatever, but
the
in
hard
your
count's
mind,
kind
like,
of dumb.
Yeah, don't do a hard count. Just do, in your mind, you're like, all right, okay, all right, up, all right, stalemate. You're not doing nothing.
No.
He's defending. Let's get.
He's
out
grabbing
of here.
his wrists. All right. Enough.
I think the hard count's dumb for when they drop to an ankle or drop to a leg on top.
At this point, it is because it's dumb
because they'll sit there with the leg and watch the ref, and they're like, "Oh, okay, you're at 4. Let me climb up the body." Like, what are we doing? I'm watching a kid stall, but he's working around the rules. So the ref's like, "I can't call stalling." You can, but you're not gonna because you're gonna lean on the rules.
It's really dumb whenever they've just gotten a takedown and their opponent is pushing them down to keep them from coming up on the hips, and the referee's down here like.
Don't they just call stalemates?
Stalemates a lot.
Yes, it's becoming more and more popular, which is good. But
the right thing.
The fact that we were doing it at all, it's like you're really about to call stalling on a guy you just awarded 2 points to or 3 points to.
Yeah. All right, back to the duel. 165. Braden Scholes beats Anthony White. Jackson Turley beats Danny Bronigal in a 4-1 match. That's not a Turley match. Normally you see a lot of points. Edmund Ruth takes out Shane Cartagena-Walsh. That's a reversal of his loss to Brian Saldano earlier in the year. So Ruth kind of climbing back up the rankings a little bit.
Out.
Walsh is just the starter. He's done better this year.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. Like, is he?
Yeah, seems like it at least.
He's the backup. He's the number 2.
That's what it feels like. Zach Bronigal beats John Poznansky 4-2, and then duel on the line. It's Yaroslav Slavikowski against Luke Luffman, and in sudden victory, the Slav gets the takedown to seal the win for the Wreckers for the Scarlet Knights, who earlier in the week they wrestled Penn State. And did you guys see that they had a guest?
Yeah.
They had a host. They had two guests, two notable guests.
Who's the other one?
Yeah, Ren's. One's Bo Bassett.
Yeah, I was waiting to see which one Reese was talking. Which one Reese?
Yeah,
knew.
Reese. Which one were you talking
I
about?
was talking about the Rizzler.
The
I almost called
Rizzler.
him.
Yeah,
I almost
the
said
Rizzler.
something else.
I love the Rizzler. I love him so much.
I saw an image and it's him wearing the red Rutgers wrestling is a boom or something like that.
Uh-huh.
And I'm just like, is this an AI generated image? I don't under. And then I found out he was actually at the duel, and it like cuts to him in the center of the mat doing his little thing. And I'm just like, this. We can't be what? Okay, this is cool.
Why?
All right,
I think it's
fine.
awesome.
No, it's cool. It's cool. It's cool.
I'm a Jersey hater, bro. I don't know, dude.
No, they do it. They do it well. I'm not going to say that they do it right, but they do it well.
Yeah, they do what they do well. They have fun.
Johnny DeJulius said that they're the greatest, the best team when it comes to marketing their duels.
That tweet triggered me for some reason, bro.
You know what? It did to me at first, and then I was reading it. I read it again, and I was like, he's right.
I don't know. I think
he's right.
No, like you don't think like he said. You and I feel like that's pretty close to the same.
No,
Nebraska is another team that's not. They've never won a championship, have they?
If you take a team and you compare their ranking to their attendance, I think Rutgers has shown that they're consistently getting butts in seats, regardless of who they're up against or where they're at on the national scene. They've scaled up quite quickly. So
yeah,
they're marketing geniuses. They know how to, they know what they're doing. They know.
the Jersey people appealing to the Jersey people.
I'm getting really sensitive to the East Coast, Northeast bias, bro. I'm just like, it was especially really like this last week with the Bills. It was just really like getting to me. I was just like, God, I hate these East Coast people.
Yeah,
they're out of control, bro.
I think so. Rutgers is really interesting right now because in the past, the way I would describe their performance as a team, and I think that this is a reflection of the culture that you see, is inconsistent, right? You have guys like John Poznansky, who was an All-American. He took 4th place. He was having sudden victory matches with Trent Hidley and looked very promising and hasn't made the podium since. Brian Saldano, who was dangerous against everybody, and then he's not in the lineup this year. Jackson Turley, he's an All-American, hasn't seen that since 2021. Dylan Shaver, he's able to beat Dylan Ragusin one week and then get teched by him the next week. Dean Peterson, he's at 125, so you give a little bit of slack there.
He teched Dylan Ragusin.
Yeah, he teched Ragusin and then got beat by him 2 weeks later.
Right. Did he not get? I thought he got like majored or something like that, didn't he?
I don't know if it was a major, but it was a butt kicking. Yes,
I can pull up the facts
but,
just to.
Still,
no, you're right. They got consistency issues.
Right. It was a 9-3 loss.
I mean, so, you got your national champ and Nick Suriano, and then he leaves. And he leaves the program.
Yeah, and I'm going to put that more on Nick Suriano than them. He's just a nomad. So
sure,
what are you going to do? But I think things are changing a little bit. And I think that based on the things that I've heard in the past, and I'm not going to say outright what I've heard, but it makes sense that I'm hearing like, oh, they can't have the same performance year over year from these athletes because of the way things are, being handled. But if they're pushing hard to get a guy like Bo Bassett. And if you're able to do that, you have to make some promises, some changes to the way, if you want to get a guy like that, your culture has to be a particular way. And so if that's the case, and Bo Bassett will also help you define that culture, they're moving in the right direction. If that happens, they're a trophy contending team 2 years from now.
So should we make guesses? Let's make early guesses on where we think Bo Bassett's going to go. Do you want to? We don't have to. I'd like to.
I will.
Okay.
I actually feel pretty good about. You know what? I would love this for Rutgers, but I feel like it might be them, and I think it would be cool. It'd be awesome. As much as I was just poo-pooing on Rutgers. It would be cool.
Yeah,
Reese is saying Rutgers. Sammy,
I have my top 3.
give me your one.
Okay, I'll
Give
say
me
Ohio
your
State.
one.
I'll say Ohio State.
Mother effer. That was my one.
Okay.
I will say Oklahoma State since you said Ohio State because I was kind of like me right there with both of them.
My 3 were Rutgers, Ohio State, and Iowa. Those are the 3 that I think are going to have the best shot. Well, because he just talked. He was on the Bader show. He just talked about like Spencer Lee being like his idol, right?
Yeah.
And if he wants to follow up that style, and where better place can you go than to go where he went?
I would love for him to go to Iowa, not because I live in Iowa and am kind of a Hawkeye fan now, but mostly because it's not. Listen, I want him to go mostly because it would just eat. It would just eat at Pat Minio, dude. Just eat at him.
Yeah, that'd be awesome for sure.
He's got to then for the next 4 to 5 years, he's got to not say anything bad about Iowa. God, that would be awesome.
I think he'll still say
He'll just go after the other guys.
He'll go after the athletes.
You're gonna go after his teammates. Then you're gonna get Bo, sliding into your DMs or calling you on the phone, being like, "Hey, Uncle Pat, why don't I come up there and do to you what I do to these other guys? Just
I don't know.
Wear you out.
Why don't we have a 5 a.m. workout?
You better stretch because I'm gonna wear you out." What's that from?
Shane Gillis and his little skit when he's on the phone when the plane is crashing. Yeah, I don't know, man. Oklahoma,
I would love it.
I really
see it happening. I think he's going to Ohio State.
Why do you think he's going to Ohio State?
Yeah, there's a couple of reasons.
I want to know why. I feel like they're at the bottom of my list.
Okay.
Well,
but I want to know why you think they're going.
Because we've heard rumors. There's rumors flying. We've heard it. We've heard rumors that.
Yeah.
Do we want to talk about it?
No, we don't.
Okay.
No.
Sammy says no.
No, we'll talk about it afterwards.
Are you going to these sources?
I don't do that. No, let's not do this. We don't have to give up any sources whatsoever. Okay, we don't have to give up anything. But I hate it. I hate it when on Flowrestling when Christian Piles would be like, "Oh, we'll talk about it off air." I hated that.
Yeah, so we're not going to do that.
We're not going to do that, Sammy. We've heard rumors that Bo Bassett is going to go to a school that will be willing to offer his dad an assistant coaching position. His dad wants to be an assistant coach at a D1 school, and these are the rumors that we've heard.
So
do we know? We don't know if they're true or not. Okay.
What does that have to do with Ohio State?
Well, let's talk about.
Didn't you yourself say Tom Ryan will do whatever it takes to beat Penn State?
That was me. I said that.
Oh, I thought that was Reese.
That was me. The 100% me. That's why I think Ohio State, because Tom Ryan will definitely put that man on staff if it means he will be better than Cale Sanderson.
God, yeah. It's so gross to me, putting the dad on staff. I hate that.
I don't know.
Let's just hope it's a rumor and that it's, maybe it's not true.
I mean, well, Derek Fix kind of got that treatment too, right?
Didn't Ironman as well?
Derek, he got to be sort of in the corner. Was he in the corner?
No, he was RTC guy.
Right. RTC.
Yeah. Okay.
Guy. Same with Ironman.
What about RTC? Okay, Ironman was RTC. Okay.
Yeah. This would be unprecedented. This would set a new standard, probably.
Don't say set a new standard. I think this is a one-off. You are not going to have a Bo Bassett for a while again. You're just not.
Maybe not.
I don't think so.
Whoever does it, though, if it happens, they're the new St. Thomas Aquinas.
Ohio State kind of feels like St. Thomas Aquinas.
It does a little bit. You're right.
I would there's the rumor that Terry Brands is retiring this year, so there's going to be an assistant position opening up at Iowa.
I don't think that's going to happen, though.
No, I don't either. I see it happening at either Rutgers or Ohio State. Those are the two schools I see it happening the most at.
Yeah.
I definitely don't see it happening at Penn State. No way, Jose.
No shot, dude.
0, pretty much. I think. I don't know.
No way, bro. I would lose.
Speaking of,
I would
I
lose a
think-
lot of respect for Kale if
I
that
think
speaking
happened.
of
I think Penn State's coming off the list here pretty soon.
Penn State. Speaking of that, the clip from last year of Kale getting interviewed and the interviewer asking about like, do you think you're going to work with your guys to add more sequencing so that they can finish their offense quicker or something like that? And
Yeah.
he's just like, we would like to do that. Yeah, I'm like, this is
Sequencing?
Dude, Kale's great.
I just remember the guy saying sequencing, and Kale's eyebrows are like, sequencing?
And he just starts nodding his head. He's like, yeah, sequencing. I'm with you. Yeah, we would like to do that. Yeah. Okay. Next on the docket, notable upsets. Dean Peterson takes out Luke Lillidahl. That's
Probably the
Lightning
biggest
Luke's
upset of the weekend, right?
Yes.
probably.
Well, you had guys, you had wrestling heads, that were saying that Luke Lillidahl might be one of the best freshmen, or up there with one of the best freshmen ever. Blah 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 blah.
You had one guy in particular. He's the most qualified, credentialed true freshman ever. Some jerk off. I don't know.
He had to pay the Kale tax. We know this. It's a
just
thing.
A Penn State homer, even though he never even didn't go there, has no affiliation with him whatsoever. Just
There's some affiliation.
what?
But he didn't. Yeah.
In what way?
A lot of business. For. Am I wrong? I mean,
No, you're right. Yeah.
You're right. But it's like, okay, that makes you affiliated. All right.
No, I would guess not affiliated, but that's going to like drive you to a bias, and that's totally fine.
Dude, he had the bias.
It's fine, but it's also just like nauseating.
I mean, like, how do you take the guy seriously? They're gonna blank Nebraska, dude. You're a joke. You're a joke.
Yeah, man. Come on, just like chill.
However, they might blank Iowa this weekend. If Drake Iowa doesn't wrestle, they might blank Iowa.
Yeah, if Drake Iowa doesn't wrestle,
you really think Josh Barr can beat Buchanan?
Josh Barr is my pick to win 197.
Now I want Josh Barr to lose just because of how hard you are.
Hey, listen, at the beginning of the year, I was like, dude, he's going to be way too small for 197. And then 22 points in 2 minutes on John Poznansky. And I'm like, yeah, dude, this guy's going to do it. He's going to.
This is more of a reflection on Poznansky. The guy wanted to get off the mat. I don't know if you watched it. I mean, there are so many clips of the exchange in the third period.
The murder.
12 points in 40 seconds. Poznansky wanted nothing to do with the mat in the third period. It was bad,
dude. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
It was impressive.
It was a good look. It was a good look.
I mean, it was a good look, yeah.
Okay. Let me get through the rest of these here. Chris Minto takes out Bo Mantanona. Looking like he's the guy.
No, he is the guy.
Or for Nebraska at 165. So
he is the guy. My sources say that he's the man now.
Yeah. Ethan Stiles, Oregon State. He had some upsets earlier in the year at 157. Now he's down at 149. He takes out Jordan Williams. Could be good for Oregon State. Just before this, listening to Willie, he said this was I didn't know about this. Nebraska kid that was at Michigan, Greco kid.
Joel Adams.
Joel Adams is at Oregon State now. So he'll be their 57-pounder next year. We'll see what that looks like. I don't know what Joel Adams is going to look like as a product in folk style in college. So we'll see.
I think he needs to shift his focus, shift his focus away from Greco for a little while. But when he does that, he's going to be great, I think.
Okay.
We're talking about a guy who was beating K-Sac regularly. You know what
right. I mean? Yeah.
He's got the talent. He's got the skill to do it.
Totally agree. Sammy Alvarez takes out Ty Whalen. Jack McGill majors Nick Incontrera, who was super consistent this year. He really looked like he was going to be a podium level guy. His only other losses were K. Devos and Lorenzo Norman. But then he gets majored by Jack McGill. I don't know what to think of that. So Cruz over McCrone. We talked about that. Keeter over Feldman. Fish over Downey. Moshe Schwartz over Cale Happel. And then Jacob Frost over Tegan Jameson. Those are your notable upsets this week. Honestly, a pretty decent amount of them for guys in the top 10, top 15. So a little bit of a shakeup, especially 141 is a 141 is a little bit of a mess now in that tier 2 area. So yeah. Okay. Time for the Hoosier Hour. Got a little bit of Indiana
Who's your
talk.
daddy?
Well,
The
Michigan
Wolverines
State is, but Michigan, or yeah, I guess, yeah.
Michigan is, not Michigan State.
Right. I was thinking, whatever. So yeah, Indiana takes out Michigan State. I think it was like 35-3 or something like that. It was they handled.
Let me just say this: this duel between Michigan State and Wisconsin, when it happens, is it going to happen? But when that duel happens, man, that's going to be a good one.
Michigan State versus Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Who is the worst of the Big Ten?
Might be Northwestern.
No,
Northwestern. There's a lot of contenders.
Yeah, they're actually Northwestern is not bad.
What about Purdue?
They got Matt Ramos.
No, it's probably Michigan. It's actually, I think it's handedly Michigan State.
I don't know. Wisconsin's right there, dude. I'm telling you.
Their saving grace is their 25-pounder. He's pretty solid.
33 sharp, not bad.
Yeah.
And 33 is tough, and
Aguilar.
Aguilar.
You're talking about Wisconsin.
Yep.
No.
Yep.
Not Aguilar. Nicolar Rivera.
Right?
Rivera.
Yeah.
Who's Nick Aguilar?
That was
Nico Aguilar.
Rutgers. He was at Rutgers and then transferred to Clackamas, and then now he's at Menlo.
Yeah. Okay. Let me get through this Michigan State duel. They won 35-3.
Indiana won 35-3.
Yeah, no crazy results. Everything looked pretty good for Indiana. Derek Gilcher. There was talk about, okay, Lillard's the guy at 165. So Gilcher, if the 57-pounder got hurt, Gilcher's going to drop down to 57. That descent plan didn't really go out too well, so he's up at 174 now.
What happened to Nick South?
Just not the guy, I guess. He got pinned by Jackson Turley, and they took out Brody Bauman. It's like, okay, you take out Brody Bauman. This is good look. Had a really close one with Cesar Garza. You get the win.
I gotta pee. I'll be right
forward, back. So, okay. But I mean, everything looked good in the way it should in the duel against Michigan State. And then going into Sunday, their duel against Michigan, kind of knew that this was going to be one where there were a lot of close matchups. So
you really want to talk wrestling while Reese is away, or should we just talk some smack on him?
I got nothing bad to say about my brothers.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
Right.
Well, here's the one bad thing I'll say about him. I bought him a $50 mic, and he has not set it up yet. So,
how about the fact that he bailed on me yesterday? Tisk.
Par for the course. For honestly,
we knew that was coming, didn't we?
Yeah. So,
and then not only did he bail on us, but then we had the perfect opportunity to do this podcast yesterday, and he was just nope. Gotta watch the Chiefs.
I mean, I was honestly at 8:00 last night. I was tired too, so I didn't hate it. So
yeah, you're sleepy boy. I forget.
I mean, it depends. Depends on the day.
So. You're a sleepy boy.
All right. I'm gonna get into this Michigan duel a little bit though. It's Michigan took out Indiana 22-13. Kicking off the duel, back-to-back tech falls. Jacob Moran takes care of business. Angelo Arini takes care of business. Great. Sergio Lemley majors Henry Porter. I was kind of hoping for a little bit more out of Henry, but Sergio, I think, was looking for a little bit of
time to get my mojo back.
Yeah, after his loss to Brock Hardy. The next match, Joey Butler, who was a 41 pounder, gets the start at 149. Wrestles Cam Catcherbone 8-1, which seems like a shutout basically. But all 7 of the 9 points scored were off of one exchange. It was a takedown right into a tilt, just like you were talking about earlier in the duel, or earlier in the episode. And other than that, they both got 2 escapes that they picked choice for. So Chase Aldate beats Ryan Garvik. Garvik gets a takedown at the end of the third period to avoid the major. And so it's like, okay, we're in this duel at the halfway point. Tyler Lillard goes out against Bo Mantanona. He's wrestling. He gets to his Tyler Lillard underhook seatbelt, wizard seatbelt position that he always gets to in these matches. And then somehow Bo Mantanona ends up in like a Merkle, but he doesn't have his hands locked or anything, but he has a 2-on-1 on Lillard's shoulder or on Lillard's arm, right? So he's got his arm right here and Lillard's off to the side and he takes it and he basically, so my arm is out like this, right? But invert this backwards. That's what Lillard's arm looked like. He had it way back and up, and the ref,
The dude's
the ref
crazy
was just letting
flexible.
it, super flexible. But as a ref, you can't let that just happen because it ends up being a takedown right into near fall at the end of the first period. He loses 8-5. Kind of an integral match for the duel, and it's decided off an exchange that shouldn't have even happened. Should have been called PD pretty early on in the situation. A little frustrating, but still plenty of opportunities for Indiana to win this duel. Get Gilcher out of 174. Joe Walker's a big 74 pounder, so that match didn't go well. Sam Goen gets the start at 184, takes out Jaden Bullock 12-6. Great look, good match result. Cardenas takes out Gabe Sollers 8-4. That's a holding Cardenas to 8 points and scoring 4 your own. Not a bad look, right? And then Jacob Bullock can beat Josh Heinzelman. It can happen. He's just got to do it. So this was a duel that Indiana definitely could have won.
He just needs to do it.
That's really all it is. So I'm just waiting to see it. Maybe he's holding on to it until the postseason. So yeah, and that's my Hoosier Hour. They've got senior night this weekend. I think they're up against Northwestern. So
winnable duel.
That if you should win that duel. If you're Indiana, you should be ready to put
Henry
over
Henry
30
Porter,
up.
Chris Cannon. That's going to be a close match.
I don't know if it is, dude.
No, why?
Chris Cannon is not good this year.
Well, he's up a weight.
Have you seen his matches?
Yes, I have.
He's 1-5 this year.
Yeah,
you got to win at the very beginning of the year against Northern Illinois.
What does the Big Ten look like right now? Penn State, Iowa, Ohio State, Minnesota, or Nebraska?
Probably.
Who's number 4?
It depends. Duel or tournament?
Duel. Yes, duel.
I'd say Nebraska then.
Nebraska, Minnesota,
Illinois, or Rutgers. Rutgers just won.
We gotta go Rutgers.
Rutgers, Illinois,
Indiana,
Maryland.
Maryland.
Maryland, Michigan, Indiana.
I don't know. The Maryland win over Michigan.
Purdue, Michigan State. Well, no, Purdue, Northwestern, Michigan State. Who are we missing? Are we missing somebody?
Wisconsin.
Oh, Wisconsin. Yeah, they're not doing too hot.
Forgot about the Badgers.
They're bad. They're
not doing
great. They're bad. They're bad.
All right.
I think about 2012, and this team's worse than
so
that
far
team.
from. Oh yeah. That was like epic.
Dude, they were bad that year too.
Epic exodus,
lost 2 great coaches, and Howe didn't come back, and
Rut was gone.
Rut left. Howe left.
Hey,
thank God for Ben Jordan. Thank God.
Speaking of exodus, do you know anything going on with Christian Carroll?
Yeah, I do.
Look at that face.
We're just gonna leave it at that.
No, all right.
We're gonna air out my laundry.
All right. I mean,
I don't even feel like anything was said during that Bassett bit that was like.
I don't know how many people know about all of it, so I just
I feel
whatever.
like all the shit we said was
well, we didn't give up
I'd
a
seen on
source.
Twitter.
Did we give up a source, Sammy?
I didn't see anything about this on Twitter, but maybe I'm just blind.
Well, I
Maybe
read
it's
the
'cause I'm-
comments.
Maybe it's because I'm only on the following side. I'm not on the for you. So
No. You have to click on the post and read the comments, just like Reese
You-
said.
So
Reese
I
knows.
did a little bit of that this weekend, and it was like a guy calling all the Rutgers fans dirty Jews, and I was like, all right, that's enough.
Well, you
for me.
gotta push
Whoa.
past it. Push past those comments.
It was like a Penn State fan, like
There are so many of those. They're everywhere.
Oh,
God.
going scorched earth on all of the Rutgers people because Dean Peterson took out Luke Littledahl, and I was like, what, dude?
Dude, and they were still like trolling them after they beat Illinois. They were still just like
So
all
mad.
over them.
So mad. Over one match, too. Over one match.
Is there a
Crazy.
golden child? There's Zeus.
I thought the
I don't
golden
know.
child was trying to win 5 titles.
So explain this Christian Carroll
I mean,
situation.
I hear different things. You know, the biggest thing that I'm hearing right now is that he's having some personal. I'm going to go ahead and say personal stuff back home,
Okay.
and that he is probably going to be back at Iowa State next fall. That's what I'm hearing.
Okay.
Now, we're trying to recruit him. I'll tell you that much.
Figured
thinking-
that much.
We're thinking, hey man, come get your mojo back.
Get yourself
will
right.
it be like? Is it? Does he burn up eligibility? Like doing that?
We'll know that in the springtime. That will be for a later episode. Spring, summertime. We should know. They should have like whether it's going to affect eligibility anymore or not.
Okay.
So
Okay.
right now,
So,
as of
yeah.
right now, yes, your JUCO years affect your eligibility in your NCAA years. As of right now, the only person it doesn't affect is Diego.
Sweet. Okay, so that like makes things a little bit easier to understand and say okay about, because if we didn't know anything, this is what I was going to say. We saw him commit to Penn or Illinois, whichever one first, right?
Penn.
And then he committed to Illinois, right? Then he committed to Oklahoma State, wrestled one
Yeah.
match for them,
Those
then-
academics were.
and
that
then
was like
transferred to Iowa State.
That's
right?
crazy.
He's at Iowa State. He does really well. First match of the year, impresses, and then everything kind of tips off after that.
Personal issues, man.
Right. And so if there's personal stuff going on, right, you're losing sleep, you're stressed, things just aren't going well.
It's more than
Take your
that.
time. Get out of there.
This
Get
is
yourself
stuff
right.
There's more than that, and I'm not going to air it out because that's not fair to him. But it's more than that.
No, yeah. So get yourself right, figure it out, get back in the room, because he's obviously good at wrestling. Would love to see him continue to wrestle.
My biggest thing is go back up to heavyweight.
No, I disagree with that,
Why?
because he's not a heavyweight. He does not have the frame
He's not
for
a
it.
90, hey, he's not a 97.
Why not?
Yeah, he looks cut at 97.
It's
You
hard.
can shrink.
It's
You
tough.
can shrink.
It's
You
hard.
can shrink.
I mean, if Feldman is a heavyweight, he can be a
Yeah.
heavyweight.
Thank you, Reese. Thank you, Reese.
I guess. I mean, he just looked. Feldman looks somewhat lean at heavyweight.
It was affecting him
Harold
more than
doesn't.
you. It was affecting him more than you think, Sammy.
Like the weight cut was affecting him.
Yes.
Okay.
He
all right.
looked skinny. He looked like very
Dude,
skinny in the midsection.
He might just be in trouble then. I don't know. Or maybe he can be a light heavyweight that just moves. Right? Don't try and bulk all the way up to like a 240, 260. Stay 220, 230.
I agree.
Maybe he needs to come down to JUCO for a little bit and get his mojo back. That's what I think.
Spend some time in the weight room. Yeah, good.
Come be a Triton.
There you go. Okay. Let's get to some international wrestling results. We can take a look at these quickly.
No.
Liam, out at the Dan Kolov, we had Dayton Fix with gold. Devin Turner took silver. Will Luan took gold. He got a 10-0 tech fall, and then a 3-0 win, and then a 5-0 win.
Is Will Luan a freestyle guy?
Absolutely.
He's always been a freestyle
We've always
guy.
known that. Yeah.
Yeah,
always.
but did we always know that he was more freestyle than he was folk style?
For
I
sure,
kinda
bro.
thought.
He was a Fargo. Like he did all the Illinois Fargo stuff, and
Cadet World Champ. I get it.
that was where I first started seeing him. Was at Sammy's Junior Duels and Fargo.
How do you is it because is he prolific turner in freestyle? You know what I mean? Is he just that much better in freestyle at turning guys than he is in folk style? Is that what it is?
I thought he had really good
I'll watch.
underhooks.
I'll watch.
He's strong for sure. Okay, back to the results. Quincy Monday took gold. He teched Ramazanov, who's a world bronze. So that was a good win.
Look at the Mondays. I love them.
Dude, Quincy Monday. I don't know if you saw a picture of him at 74. Big.
Well, Kennedy looked good at 79.
Yeah. So Kennedy at 79, he took silver. His loss was to a Georgian who I don't recognize the name of. It was 8-6 loss. I'm actually Tornik Tulishvili.
That was
Timmy. Thank you. Zahid Valencia took gold. Teched Chance Marsteller in the finals.
Bloodied him up and then teched him.
He looks ready.
I saw one of his matches. Did that Saturday night Lights Wrestling Twitter account?
Yeah,
pretty cool. They
Great
post
account.
like all their I saw his match with like Hungarian or somebody, and this dude hit the dirtiest. Like I say, dirty as in illegal. Arm throw on Zahid. Like he had the arm like below, he had both hands below the elbow and like hit the arm spin. Yeah, and like took his Zahid was like went immediately, which is
he said, you can have it.
He said, "No way, are you ripping my arm out?"
Yeah, no, hey, go ahead, have this. I'm just gonna get in a front headlock and choke the ever living out of you.
Dude, yeah, he did that before that, so maybe that's why the guy did that. Because he literally
because I knew exactly what you're talking about. I couldn't remember the sequence. Because I knew what you were talking about. I couldn't remember the sequence though. If
I saw that and I was like, "What did he just do? What does he do to him?"
It's kind of like the key lock,
break them,
right?
Yeah, like the Michael Pixley.
Oh no! Sorry, I thought you were talking about what did the other guy do? No, what does he do? No, it's not quite like Michael Pixley. It's more like, do you remember Tristan Porsche?
Yeah.
What he would do in the front headlock?
No, I don't. I didn't know anything about how.
Basically, you're just using this bone right here, and you're just getting it right up in there.
So he was, dude, because this guy literally
Porsche was great at it.
Went limp. It looked like, and he rolled him twice.
I mean,
and then the dude was like, "All right."
Dude, he did that to.
It's almost like it's almost kind of like an anaconda choke, but he doesn't quite hook it up like an anaconda. Beep beep.
Snake bite.
All right, Chance Marsteller obviously silver second place behind Zahid. Eric Schultz took bronze. Jordan Wood took bronze, and Mason Paris took gold.
You just unlocked so many memories, Reese. You did. You just unlocked so many memories. Sorry, Sammy.
No, you're good. You're good.
That's a deep cut.
It was a deep cut. It was a deep cut.
Okay. I also have on here the Spencer Lee Masanosuke Ono card picks.
What is this?
This is February 26th. So yeah, just under a month, 30 days.
So we don't have to make.
They're gonna add.
We don't have to make picks right now because they're not done with the card, so we can do picks later.
Yeah.
I was gonna say
currently as it stands, they have Spencer Lee versus Ono, Aaron Brooks versus Heath Valencia. I think they said that this is going to be at 86 kilos, which is interesting
That's
because I
crazy.
thought Brooks was working his way up. So
What is
He said he'd never go there
yeah,
again.
money.
what is Lee and Ono? Are they at a catch weight or are they at 61?
I don't know.
Because I've heard both. I read on Flow that they're doing a catch weight, but I've also heard that maybe they're not doing a catch weight anymore. That they're going.
Who's
61.
hosting this?
Flow. It's
Oh, okay.
it's part of their.
It's going to be in Coralville.
It's that's what you mean. Yeah. But it's part of their Flow Wrestling Night in America thing that they've been doing this year, where they highlight a duel, whether it's high school or college or an international card. And I think that's been a good thing so far this year. And this is obviously super exciting. And yet, on the article about the announcement, it says that that it'll be at a catch weight. But Ono after that released the fact that he's dropping down to 57. So
Oh,
I don't know.
are they going to do it at 57 then?
I don't think so. I don't think he's going to be ready to wrestle 57 kilos in a month here. But maybe it will be below 61 kilos. I don't know.
We should get our own. We
That
should
would
get
be-
our own event.
That would be a catch weight. Reese.
Yeah,
Reese.
I'll put up all my life savings as the bag.
For who do you want to see? Who's in your?
Who do I want to see? Oh, I want
Yeah.
to get I want to get Yanni versus Otaguro. I think that's that's what I go to every time I think about matches I want to see the most.
I think we'll get that this year.
At 70.
Yeah, because they're both at 70. Yeah, right.
Yeah, I think we'll get that
See,
this year.
that could that could be a thing.
Yeah, no money needed, Reese.
Man,
You
No
get a
money?
free charge.
do we do it
Okay,
in
well,
the barn,
it's
too?
not just about the money. It's about, dude. You know how much exposure that would be?
You're
Yeah.
oh man, the ideas are flowing right now.
Yeah, that would be sick.
All right, keep those ideas in mind for.
But I
when we
need
have
crypto
money.
to do better before I ever put up any money of mine. And right
All
now, it's bad. Like
No.
everything. in the
Listen.
stock.
The only kind of money I want you to put up is to help make the event happen. We don't need we can find the money for cash prizes or whatever.
Well, if
someone
I'm a millionaire, if I'm a crypto millionaire, then I'll put up money. Shit.
All right, fine. How close are you, Reese?
I'm so close, dude. So close. You wouldn't believe it.
I don't believe it. Are you fucking with me right now?
I'm
Okay.
lying.
David Carr, Daichi Takatani. I'm guessing that'll be at 74 kilos, but maybe
I heard it
maybe
was
higher.
at 79.
Might be higher because they don't want to cut weight. Austin DeSanto, Seth Gross, Austin Gomez, Bryson Donian. I hope that they just don't put a point limit on this match and they just let them score as many points as possible. That would be so much fun.
Sick.
Yeah.
Man,
That'd be great.
Andonian owns the series though, right? 2-0.
That makes
Does
sense.
he?
I think
Does
they
he?
only wrestled those 2
They
times.
wrestled twice at Nationals one year, Sammy.
Yeah,
Epically.
but I thought they wrestled more than that, but
I don't know. I mean, when would they have ever
be-
wrestled outside of that? They would never duel each other.
I don't know.
They were
Let me pull up the facts. Give me a break.
those
Give me a
matches,
second.
bro. Freaking
And then
Andonian.
the latest match announced is Nate Jackson, Trent Hidley, which
Wow.
they
I didn't see
haven't-
that one.
there and it says that they will be.
You don't agree,
No.
Brian?
It's
Why?
it's them facing off for the first time in their careers at 86 kilos. I think
Because-
they've wrestled before.
Because I've watched Nate Jackson break against Colin Moore. You don't think how bad do you think or how fast do you think he's going to break against a guy like Trent Hidley?
I feel like a one-off match might be better for him. I would still
Maybe.
pick Trent, obviously,
Hey.
but
Nate Jackson, bring back the cram videos and maybe you
dude.
might start going off
Dude,
again.
those
those
were
Korean videos
great.
were crazy.
They were awesome.
Dude, people forget Nate Jackson has beaten Jaden Cox.
Yeah,
And Bo Nickel.
he beat Bo Nickel. Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh,
That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Shoot, dude, he almost did it twice.
He did almost do it twice. Bo Nickel did
At
not like wrestling Nate
NCAAs?
Jackson. Yeah.
Yeah. And then they
Is
were
that
like,
close?
they asked Bo, they were like, and love Bo to death, but they were like, Bo, is that a bad matchup for you? He's like, no one's a bad matchup for me. It's like,
Yeah.
all right, guy, come on.
Bo
Come on,
has
guy.
the utmost
What would
confidence in
you
himself,
what?
and
I mean, what are you going to say to that though?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, it's just the way it was his tone, dude. It was his tone. Go
Yeah.
watch the interview. You watch
His
the interview and
tone.
you're like,
I
all right.
I
man.
know exactly what
I
the tone
understand
is,
the
and
confidence, but like the dude clearly the dude is clearly like giving you struggles. So
right, and you can get the same message across in a different way. You can just say like,
I don't believe I really have a bad matchup, but you know
That's
what?
not
Nate
something I
Jackson's
think about.
tough, and yeah,
right, you can just be like, that's not something I really think about.
I just
I just think about trying to win
I
a
don't
match.
think I have bad matchups. I just think these guys wrestle to another level when they wrestle me. That would be better.
That's too humble. That's way too humble.
Is it though? That's a
That's
little
so
bit.
humble.
It's not. It's a
little
little bit
bit.
of an
I would
ego
be. This is
boost
what I
too.
would say. I'd be like,
That-
you can't ask me any more questions ever till you drop down and give me 20 push-ups.
Drop it, give me.
Dude,
Like that one guy, that some UFC guy did that. Can't remember.
What if
who it was.
what if you're was it like Rampage Jackson or something like that?
No,
Probably.
it was a white guy. It
Oh, okay.
Is it recently or what?
was like Cowboy Cerrone, maybe, or I don't know.
Ah, that would make sense for Cerrone.
Dude,
And he
one of
kept
the
like,
one of the funniest. I've been enjoying the more of the athlete content for the college guys, and Penn State has been doing a lot of it. And recently, their thing was like, "Have you ever taken down or pinned Coach Cale Sanderson?"
Yeah,
And a lot of so many of them were
saw
like,
that video.
"Yeah, definitely." A lot of
It
them
was
were like, "Yep,
confusing.
taking him down," and then like, do you have the video of it? It's like, I think he deleted that. So
I don't know. I don't know what to think of that video. I felt like some of them were probably telling the truth.
I was like,
I'm thinking like Kirkfoot was like, no, never, impossible. And so it makes me think maybe they try to like
Cale Sanderson.
gas
Cale
Cale.
Sanderson can still make a world team right now for the United States of America.
Probably, I think so. I mean, yeah,
I would
I
take
certainly
Cale
think he can
Sanderson
beat Snyder.
in a match exactly over Kyle Snyder. I was like,
For sure, yeah.
if these dudes are getting takedowns on him in the match, then he's letting it happen so he can boost your confidence.
Probably, yeah.
The only ones I thought I was like, all right, you legitimately probably took him down was the Mirasolas.
Kirk too.
So why Kirk? Well, why is Kirk like?
Oh,
No,
I didn't make-
never,
I didn't-
impossible.
I think
I didn't make it
Kirk
to
might be Kirk might be
I
trolling.
just-
He's just
I
like,
didn't
yeah,
even make
some-
it to Kirk.
or
But-
Kirk is slow. I don't know.
Well, like I feel like he said that. Like David Taylor kind of had said the same things.
Right, and it's just like that's just the way you talk.
Maybe they're
about it,
just
right? 'Cause
trolling, bro.
because another video that they had earlier on was like, who's the fastest on the team, and everybody was like me, or who's the best at dodgeball. Everybody was like, I'm the best.
I like
No
that
one can
one.
beat me, except for.
I like all the
they
videos where
asked-
Kale is hyping up all of Casey Cunningham's children,
Yes.
and then we'll poo poo on Casey Cunningham. I love that.
Dude,
Oh,
well,
that's
there was
funny.
one where he was like, they were like, who's the fastest, who's the strongest, who's the smartest? He's like, Casey Cunningham, Casey Cunningham.
No.
Casey Cunningham. And then
No.
they're like, who's the best
He's-
at dodgeball? And he's like, not Casey.
He was referring to Casey's kids, not Casey.
Oh, really?
He
thought he
said
was talking about
Cunningham, not Cunningham. But he was not referring to Casey. He was referring because he's got one of his kids on the squad right now.
I thought he was talking about Casey Cunningham.
No. Because
How
then
do you know he wasn't?
And then he goes, all of Casey's kids, they get all of their athletic prowess from the mom. Not really, Casey's just dragging him down.
Yeah. Okay.
He poo-poos
I
on
thought-
Casey. Not like for real, but like, as
I
in
get
a
it.
joking.
I get it. Yeah. Okay, well, we're at an hour 24. We got some duels that we could preview. I don't really know if we want to do that or if we feel like we have the time for it.
Iowa versus Penn State. That's going to be a woodshedding. Rutgers versus
These
Minnesota.
other duels, yeah,
That's going
whatever.
to be very good. And then Oklahoma
Oh, you
State
think
versus
so?
Rutgers versus Minnesota is going to be a good duel. Missouri versus Oklahoma State. There will also be a woodshedding.
Yeah. Okay. There you go.
Or Missouri, bro. This is the worst I've ever seen Missouri.
Ever.
I mean,
Like,
they're
literally ever.
injured. Yeah. I mean, they were what, like 2007 was like a really bad time for them, right?
Was it?
Not
Or
as
like
bad
there was
as
no wait.
this is.
There was the time between Ben Askren and like the
No, 'cause-
modern Mizzou.
No, they still have Max. They still had Max even in those times.
Okay.
It
Well,
was
I mean, they
good.
have Keegan O'Toole right now, and like Rocky Elam's there, but he's injured.
No, they're going to be good
Um,
next year when they get everyone healthy. And well,
Well,
I mean, Keegan's not going to be back, but they'll have
They'll
Aiden
get
Sinclair and
Mendoza, bro. That's a monster.
It was.
Recruit.
I guess we can.
Maddox
You-
Shaw, isn't he go
it's
there?
time for
Does he
Brian
go
to
there?
hang it up. It's time for Brian to hang it up and hand the reins over to our boy Kendrick Maple.
I agree. Well,
time.
I like
Okay.
Brian Smith.
I think
don't know,
Brian's still
whatever.
doing a good job.
I think
But
it,
I do think the
I think it's
injuries are
time. I think
suspect.
it's time.
I mean, there's a lot of injuries this year. But speaking of Missouri,
The
Missouri
most
always
suspect,
has injury issues.
the most suspect injury of the year is Younger Bastida.
Oh, what do you mean by that? Suspect.
like, why wasn't it announced until last week? Type thing.
It wasn't announced until late because Gable Steveson came back. That's why.
Oh, so you're
100%. There's one.
They're saying
I mean,
you don't think he's actually hurt.
I was at the duel last night. Let's just say he doesn't look very hurt to me.
Okay.
And it's not just people outside of Iowa State that are saying this. It's people within Iowa State that are
Well,
also like,
I don't blame him.
this guy's not wrestling because
Dude. Yeah.
Can't
Here's
win.
the thing. Wyatt Henderson would never do this.
Gable's going to be gone.
If I
Kirk's going to be gone. Wyatt's going to be gone. That really
Schultz.
opens it up for Younger. Schultz is going to be gone.
Dude, heavyweight is going to be so
Empty.
different next year.
Very empty.
There will be no more powerhouses.
No.
Trumbull, I guess he'll be back, right? Or is
Trumbull,
this his senior year?
Feldman.
He's got one more.
There'll be some good heavyweights, but not like it is right now. This is
There's really no like incoming big time heavyweights either.
no.
Jude Coria.
Yeah.
I guess what the other guy
Sahakian.
Sahakian.
yeah.
But he just got beat by Kobe Merrill.
Sahakian.
Ooh.
So Cody Merrill went to Gilroy, right?
I don't know.
Was
I
he
don't know.
not a Gilroy kid? Because Kobe is
I didn't
not
think he was a Gilroy kid.
Maybe he wasn't. Okay. I thought he was.
I thought it was
Maybe
like some random high school.
Well, he wrestled for DC though in his club, right?
Oh,
It says he went to Gilroy. So
Oh.
Yeah. But so why doesn't Kobe wrestle at Gilroy?
I don't know, dude.
Are they not brothers? They are brothers, right?
shit, bro. If they're not brothers, I'll put a lot of money down that they're
Dude, that's
brothers.
yeah. He goes. So Kobe Merrill goes to JW North.
Has he always gone to JW North?
I don't know.
And what is he a junior or senior this year?
I don't know. I don't know.
Senior.
Is he?
I don't.
Because Flow Wrestling, I think, had him down as a sophomore.
Ooh. I thought he was a senior.
Let me think about this. So that's for the 28. No, I think he's a junior this year.
That would make sense.
I think he's a junior this year. Hey, but you mentioned Missouri, and this reminded me. I think it was Missouri and West Virginia dueled this weekend, right? I believe they did. And I think it was the Jordan Titus. Missouri and West Virginia wrestled.
The headgear BS.
Yeah, so Titus slides his headgear to the center of the mat. Edmund walks towards the center of the mat and slides his headgear towards the coach's corner. And they ding Titus for unsportsmanlike, and they take a team point.
Stupid.
kind of dumb. Ultimately, not a factor of the duel. It was 22-16 for Missouri, but I mean, what are we doing?
It's pretty dumb, but it's also like I'm also like, did you not see that? Like, why are you? Why are you?
I
I
lied.
mean, you
Flo
know that
has
these
Scooby
rules
Merrill as a
exist.
junior. Yeah,
Reese, what'd
no,
you say?
but Reese said that these, why do it if you know that these rules exist? Because, dude, like he didn't really throw his headgear; he slid it.
He
You read
slid
the
it.
This
I
rule
thought
was
he
book.
like just tossed it into the center of the mat.
whatever. Regardless, they said that one guy did it with malicious intent, the other guy did not. It's just going back to the judgment bullshit. Like,
Yeah, that is stupid.
Dude, they got to change the rule to unless you are using your headgear as a projectile to harm another person, it's not a team point.
yeah, you're gonna. I mean,
Yeah,
dude,
I don't
you're
even
gonna
like
you're
spike
gonna
the headgear.
take
Who cares?
you're gonna take a team point for Jordan Titus for tossing his headgear or sliding his headgear or whatever. But you're not gonna do. You're gonna do is give Jet Streckenberger a stern talking to for basically unloading the clip on Troy Spratley.
Yeah,
Like,
dude.
come on,
Yeah.
Right.
what are we doing?
What are we doing here?
Yeah. It's just
And
I don't know.
where do you guys? I mean, not you guys, but like whether you agree with it or don't agree with it with the Streckenberger stuff. It's like, listen, it's inappropriate in today's climate, right?
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
is.
don't take a team point for it. Just be like you just got to as a ref, you just hold them back and be like, hey, be smart. It's that's really it.
Well, what do you
So,
do then? Because in football, it's 15-yard. It's a flag and a 15-yard penalty automatically.
I don't know.
You gotta
I
you gotta hold all the sports to the same standard when it comes to certain celebrations, right?
I guess, but I mean, how do you come to a universal agreement on what is okay and not?
Yeah,
Uh,
it's tough
uh,
with the gun thing when you think about this. The Cowboys. It is like intuitively you see the pistols versus an automatic pulse
Yeah.
weapon. Yeah,
Yeah. One
Right.
one
they do feel totally different.
one
Yeah.
is mocking. One Anthony Ashnault was mocking
Dude,
Oklahoma State
Real Budo did it this
Jet,
weekend.
while Jet Strickenberger is like yeah, if I had a gun, I would be murdering you right now. Not saying that that's what Jet was thinking, but like that's what it looks like, right?
Yeah, it is like yeah. I mean, when you think about like nobody like these are the kind of weapons that kill kids in school shootings and stuff. Like yeah, I don't know.
But
It
my whole
just
thing is like, yo, we got. I mean, Johnny DeJulius. Oh no, this is great for the sport of wrestling. This is cool. And Carter Srirachi, like, oh, we're robots, so we can't celebrate like that. Like, no, dude, there are ways you can celebrate or whatever. Like, look at Dean Peterson this weekend after he beat Luke Lillidahl. Great
What did he
celebration,
do?
I thought.
yeah. What
I
did he
don't know.
do?
He did like a little dance thing. I don't know. It was like it was very Jersey celebration. It was perfect though, in my opinion. Like was celebrating with his corner. Meanwhile, you're Jet Strickenberger and you're like yeah, like come on, dude. Like especially a guy who's been DQ'd from national tournaments in the past because he can't
Eh,
control himself.
I saw him do it, and I'm like, that is a JUCO product.
Oh,
Which I mean,
offense, offense, Ryan.
is it?
I'm not.
Well, because
Are you
they're
offended?
No, I am not because he has definitely. I mean, he's done dumb stuff in the past at the national tournament. He can't
it
can't
just,
control his emotions. Can't keep his composure.
and I think
Can't,
that's part of what it was, right? He's
can't,
wrestling number 4 in the country, and he pins him. It just
yeah,
bursts out.
you pinned him off of a kid got lazy or you know what I mean. It's like
Yeah,
I got a
yeah,
question.
yeah,
yeah.
Kind of like off topic. Taking Jameson. How do we feel about him after this weekend?
he's slumping.
Apple's a fine loss. Frost.
Frost is on. Frost is hot though. The
Frost
frost
is heating
is
up.
hot. The
He is
frost is hot.
defrosting.
He's defrosting.
I don't
think
know.
he'll be all right.
We'll see.
I think he'll be fine.
Yeah.
So,
I
but
think
I definitely don't think. I don't think he can crack in to that top 4.
probably not. I mean, he might be one of those guys low. Remember, Taken went 0-2 at NCAAs last year. He lost to
So
Dan
I
Fongaro and then
also
Kale
forgot.
Happel.
Okay, he was at 41 last year. I don't know why I thought he was at a different weight for some reason.
No. I got him and T. Travis mixed up a lot. But so
Teague's going to end up at Missouri.
That's cool.
Damn. We'll see. I think he'll get some revenge at Big 12s, and then we'll see how big NCAAs shakes out. So.
I think David Taylor is going to have his guys ready.
This is like where it starts to become a real test, because you've seen Oklahoma State do really well at the beginning of the year, and then they have some of these tougher duels, and they don't do quite as great as you would like hope for them to do necessarily. They still wrestle fine. They're great guys, wrestle great.
Mm-hmm.
They're good guys. They have these missteps. So,
I mean, beating Northern Iowa at Northern Iowa is like pretty impressive.
Yeah,
this year.
for sure. Like they did plenty of things. Not everything went their way, and if for you to expect that is crazy.
You think maybe Northern Iowa might be what's his name?
Doug Schwab.
Doug Schwab.
He might be in the running for Coach of the Year.
He could be. I thought about this, and
we had a conversation about it over text, didn't we?
I know, and
who did we put in there? Because I mean, dude, if Kale breaks his own record this year, how do you not give it to him?
Yeah,
right.
It's true.
But it's also just like, is it glaze? Are we glazing Kale?
No. How is it glazing Kale?
I don't know.
It doesn't even look like
the last time he's won.
Man, you got all the national champs. You got all the team titles.
It doesn't even look like his team on paper.
Of the year.
On paper, this people are talking about this being the greatest Penn State team of all time, but like if you look at other teams he's had in the past, like on paper, it's not. It's not.
No, to get a performance that would break your previous record out of this team would be pretty exceptional.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Maybe another a suggestion brought up.
It's not out of the question. Like he can do it. Like this.
A suggestion that was brought up was like a more evenly distributed competitive field where like everybody else is kind of, Kale Sanderson might have been here and now he's here, but then everybody was here last year and now a lot of people are down here. Type thing, maybe. I don't know.
The thing. The man just. I mean,
when do you guys think the last time he won it was?
What do you mean? Who won?
Coach of the Year.
Coach of the Year.
He won it in 2023, didn't he?
Did he? No, I thought that was Mike. Mike Gray.
Did Mike Gray win it?
I think so. Can we look this up?
Yeah, somewhere. Well, so who are we talking about? What publication?
I thought it was.
Was it NWCA or something like that?
Win Magazine Coach of the Year? Like, I don't know.
Who does everybody go off of? Isn't there one singular?
Maybe I don't know.
There was like a.
I don't. That's my question though. I guess I don't know what publication decides it. Isn't it Win?
Probably that makes sense because doesn't Win do the Hodge?
Yeah. 2018,
okay.
Really? It's been that long.
2020. No, you're right. 2023 was Kale.
I was gonna say I could have swore he won.
So, but then before that was 2017.
Wow, they didn't win it in 2018.
No, it was a tie between Joe McFarland and Pat Popolizio.
Joe McFarland, because it was his last year.
Yeah, I guess so. So Kale won it in 2011. Then he split it with Jim Miller in 2013.
Who died?
Then he won it in 2017.
That was also Jim Miller's last year at Wartburg. It was Joe McFarland.
It's honorary. Yeah.
It was an attaboy.
Man, I could have sworn
Jim Miller. Jim Miller is a great coach. He is. Don't get me wrong. Like all the titles he won with Wartburg, like he clearly is deserving. So I'm a big Jim Miller fan.
I could have sworn Mike Gray won some sort of the year type thing. Am I wrong?
He should have split it last year with Neil. I love Neil. Don't get me wrong. I'm glad Neil won it outright. But dude, you
Why
beat
should
the
he have won
second.
it?
You beat the second place team by 100
Oh.
points.
Oh,
Oh, you're
2023
talking
in
about Kale. I thought you were
WC.
talking
Talking
about
about Kale.
Mike.
I'm saying Kale should have won it with Neil.
Yeah. 2023 in WCA National Coach of the Year
Was Mike.
was
Uh,
Mike
in
Gray.
WCA.
So they have like the win NCAA Coach of the Year, the Dan Gable Coach of the Year, and then you have the NWCA Coach of the
That's
Year.
the one that matters. The Dan Gable Coach of the Year. That's the one that matters.
You think so?
In my opinion.
What about like the National Wrestling Coaches Association voting amongst your peers type thing?
That's a lot of politicking, if you ask
What
me.
about who votes in the win?
Yes.
Is it just like the guys
That's
who can?
fans. That's the fans, isn't
That's
it?
fans. Oh,
Well, interesting.
I don't know. I might be wrong.
I figured it was
is
like
with the Hodge. The fan. They had the fan vote
No,
with
the
Hodge.
Hodge
right?
is no. It goes to like past winners and other.
Yeah.
There's
so
a vote.
it's
though.
a
There's a
matrix.
vote,
It's a
right?
matrix. It's a matrix.
Yeah.
You get fan vote, but also previous winners have their own input, and that's like a percentage type thing.
Yeah.
But I don't know
It's
what
like
that
the
whole thing looks
electoral
like.
college.
They take
No.
the fans into consideration.
It's like the fan vote is like 10% or something like that type thing. I don't know what it exactly looks like. So, but yeah. Hey, what do you think?
I think we did
Wrap it up.
Yeah.
All right. Thank
Ricky,
you everybody for listening.
Wrap it up.
If you're still listening, like, comment, subscribe, all that BS, and have a good day. That's most
Not
important.
BS though. You'll be helping us a great deal.
Make our numbers go up so that we can host the Barn
And look
Session
for,
Wrestling Card
Make the bond session
yeah.
great again.
Look for the upcoming barn session card.
with your support.
Yes.
It can
Wrestling
happen.
card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See,
Yep.
more support from you. We can have our own card. And you know what I'd
All
like to do
right.
with this card? I'd like to throw in some wrestlers from other divisions in this card.
In a pizza party.
I want to.
All right. Have a good day. See you later. Bye-bye.